The monster known as Melissa is even stronger as it heads for Jamaica. Good evening, I'm Mike Nasa with this 11 p.m. Eastern Time update on this Monday night on our extremely powerful Hurricane Melissa. Here is the satellite imagery of this Category 5 monster, and you do not see hurricanes look more symmetric than this. Take a look at this perfect circle of a hurricane. Look at that. You do not get anything more perfect than that. And the eye is very well defined. We actually saw a little sputter earlier where the eye kind of sputtered, but it is still intensifying. And the motion, I put this in a fast motion so you could see the track was west, and then it kind of did a loop-de-loop, and now it is moving north-northeast, so that turn towards Jamaica has begun. A little slower than we thought, but it looks like tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, will be the time of landfall of this extremely catastrophic hurricane. Here's the latest from the National Hurricane Center as of 11 p.m. Hurricane Melissa was at 16.6 north, 78.5 west, winds still 175 miles per hour. So not only is it a Category 5, but it's in the upper echelon of Category 5s. You really can't get stronger than this. It's moving north-northeast at 2 miles per hour, and that barometric pressure is down to 903 millibars, making it one of the most intense hurricanes we have ever seen in this part of the Atlantic Ocean. Now, I wanted to show the track here because it is slowing down, so it is still expected to make landfall, but probably sometime in the afternoon here along the southwest portions of Jamaica and the coast there. So if you are in areas there of the western part of the island, near the coast, take cover, get to higher ground. The storm surge will be tremendous along the coastline, to say nothing of those devastating winds right around the eye. Now, the good news is the winds only extend out 30 miles, the hurricane winds from the center, 30, 40 miles, and right around the eye is where you have the Category 5 winds, but if that hits you, we are talking a lot of destruction. Now, what kind of destruction are we talking about from a Category 5 hurricane? Well, this little video graphic from the National Hurricane Center website shows us pretty well. This is a Category 1. You see stuff starts blowing, maybe a tile or two. Then we get into the Category 2 range, up to 110 miles an hour. You start losing a lot on the roof. And then once you cross Category 3, 111 to 130, that's a major hurricane. Things get really bad. And then by a Category 4, you get all the way up towards 140, 150 miles an hour. You could lose your roof. And then a Category 5, which is what Melissa is, well, you can see pretty much everything's flattened. So this is what we're expecting from Melissa in Jamaica. So if you have poor infrastructure in certain areas, imagine this graphic with that type of infrastructure. It's going to be horrendous. There's another look on the infrared satellite loop. Again, as perfectly circular as you'll ever see a hurricane get. Look at the outflow streaming here. Beautiful ventilation off to the north, and just a very, very favorable oceanic heat content underneath the hot Caribbean waters. And again, the motion, it was west, and then it kind of looped around, and now we see a definite north-northeast turn there. Notice it's starting that turn. So again, right here along the southwestern coast of Jamaica appears to be where the landfall point will occur. Now, we're talking about a Category 5 hurricane. For the winds, that is catastrophic. That's off the charts. If this somehow fluctuates and weakens down, which is always possible, we could hope for, even if it weakened 40 miles an hour, it's still a Category 4 hurricane with devastating winds. So you would have to hope for some kind of dramatic weakening. The point is, this is going to be one of the worst hurricanes ever to hit Jamaica. Now, this is a really cool graphic, and this is from the NOAA website. These are all of the hurricanes on record. Now, this goes back to, I believe, 1851. So 174 years of hurricane records. Before that, we have, old diaries and journals and stuff. But this is, as best as we could figure, all of the major hurricanes, Category 3, 4, or 5, that have hit Jamaica. And we had one in 1903, 1912, 1944, Charlie, 1951, and then only one Category 4, Hurricane Gilbert, in 1988. And all of them, except for the 1912 storm, which kind of did this little clip here and looped around in November, that was a late-season hurricane, almost all of them crossed directly over the island. This is going to be coming in that direction. Now, if we go just Category 4 and 5 hurricanes, only one, Gilbert, 1988, was a 130 mile per hour Category 4. All of the others have either passed north or south of the island at Category 4 and 5 strength. We have never had any Category 5 hurricanes on record for the last 174 years make landfall in Jamaica, and only one Category 4, and that was Gilbert with 130 mile per hour winds. So if this remains stronger than that and makes landfall, it will be the strongest hurricane on record for the island of Jamaica. Again, I'm sure this happened maybe 200, 300 years ago, but nobody living on the island will have gone through anything like Melissa. Here's another look at the barometric pressure, and again, we're getting into history here. Melissa, with 903 millibar pressure, is now wedged between Mitch and Katrina on the hurricane list. So think about that. Mitch, Melissa, Katrina, Camille, these are some historic hurricane names that Melissa finds herself wedged between, and it's possible that it gets a little stronger. We have aircraft flying out there trying to get the measurements. Earlier today, we had a NOAA aircraft hit such extreme turbulence that people were vomiting and they had to bail out of the mission. We had lightning in the eye wall. We had birds, tropical birds, flying around the eye. And unless they find land, they will fly until they exhaust themselves and crash into the ocean and die. So this only happens in the most violent of hurricanes, and Melissa is one of them. Brian McNulty's radar page, he's keeping us updated with his fast loop. Note here the motion was west, southwest, then it kind of did this sputter, and now it is heading towards the north-northeast. If it continued that motion, it would make landfall sometime probably early in the afternoon tomorrow. So again, a lot of heavy rainfall here starting over the island, and the slower the motion, the more rainfall you will get. So the key messages for Hurricane Melissa for Jamaica: number 1, remain in your safe shelter. Catastrophic flash flooding, numerous landslides, they're expected through Tuesday. The eye wall's destructive winds may cause, as I showed you in that video, total structural failure, particularly in higher elevations. The winds can be stronger the higher you are in elevation, leading to widespread infrastructural damage, prolonged power and communication outages, and isolated communities. And we also have that threat of storm surge. It could be as high as 13 feet or locally higher with waves on top of that. Failure to take immediate action may result in serious injury or significant loss of life. Melissa means business. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, continued flooding and landslide risks. Again, the rainfall on the right side of the hurricane, it could cause extensive landslides across southwest Haiti and southern portions of the Dominican Republic all through midweek. In Haiti, extensive infrastructural damage and isolation of communities is likely. And tropical storm conditions are expected late Tuesday and Wednesday when the hurricane pushes on toward your northwest. For eastern Cuba, you're under a hurricane warning. Heavy rainfall and life-threatening flash flooding and landslides will begin shortly as the storm moves closer to you. Life-threatening storm surge and damaging winds expected late Tuesday and Tuesday night. Remember, this is expected to be a major hurricane landfall in Cuba. So it's not just about Jamaica. After that, we got Cuba, then the Bahamas. Number 4, the southeast and central Bahamas, you got a hurricane warning. And the Turks and Caicos, hurricane conditions, life-threatening storm surge, heavy rainfall are expected across portions of the southeast and central Bahamas on Wednesday. Residents there should follow advice given by local officials. Have all of your preparations complete by tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Tropical storm conditions and heavy rains and surge are expected in the Turks and Caicos Islands by Wednesday. And there is the latest in Spanish. So again, a very serious hurricane, a violent hurricane. If this happened before they named them, I'm sure this would be named the Great Jamaican Hurricane of 2025. And it looks like Hurricane Melissa is going to be a monster storm for Jamaica. So I'm Mike Naso with continuing video updates here on YouTube of this late season monster known as Melissa. And we will be back with more later as this hurricane continues to make its march towards Jamaica. I'm Mike Naso, and I'll talk to you next time with more on the monster known as Melissa.